Cassie Lynn's brother, Boo, passed away suddenly a few years ago. And due to her mum not wanting an autopsy, they don't know the reason why. Cassie has been having some health issues, and a doctor is working on diagnosing, and she's been dreaming of her brother frequently. Part of her though is worried that what's wrong with her is related to what caused a brother's death, because she's getting close to the age he was when he passed, and Cassie was just wondering whether if anybody can connect with Boo for her and give her some help, really. So all that on board there. I thought we'd use these mediumship type cards, but instead of the mediumship as we normally use with these, we'll use these as well, but we'll use these just a bit later on, these mediumship talking to heaven cards, as they're called there, talking to heaven mediumship cards. We'll be using these mediumship type cards. These are called Konxari cards. Konxar is the Egyptian for talking to the dead. I suppose it's a sort of paraphrase for necromancy, isn't it? And of course we would use the witch board, but of course when you use Konxari cards, you put the witch board away, and the Ouija board, the spirit board, or whatever you call it there. This deck has photographs, keywords, symbols, letters and numbers, and so on. And maybe there's a hidden message somewhere awaiting from Boo for you there, Cassie. But given that you said there was no autopsy, maybe we can do I suppose we could call it a spiritual autopsy in a way, if there's ever such a thing, in the sense that this reading, of course, remember, I just want to point out, I just want to stress before we do start though, that this reading isn't really your reading, Cassie. This is because we use tarot cards and runes and other oracles to do readings for us, but the Konxari cards do readings for them. That's so this reading we're doing is going to be Boo's reading, in the sense he'll speak through it as well, and maybe give an idea about what happened, maybe, and maybe what he wants to tell you, what he wants to tell you that somebody else didn't want either to know or to tell you. I don't know. We're going to find all that out now. We're going to gather the cards together here, and we're going to shuffle them. And as we shuffle them, we just simply ask Boo to join us in this sitting. Spirit of Boo, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Boo, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Boo, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Boo, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Boo, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Boo, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Boo, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Boo, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Boo, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Boo, through these cards and move among us. Blessed be to Boo and all absent friends. And we cut the deck like so. And where the deck splits is where Boo has now joined us, and before we deal the Konxari, we will just thank Boo. I just want to thank you, Boo, for joining us. I want to thank you for your presence. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your energy, and I want to thank you for your love for the message that you've brought here for Cassie. And I have to sense there are others as well. And I do thank you for the privilege that we can share as we are now here to investigate further what happened and so on. We're going to get the cards and we're going to deal them out in a like I suppose you could say like a clock face or a compass type a configuration. We're just going to deal out. I normally do out two in the middle. Now I put the two together. They aren't going to be together for long, so don't worry about that. That's just to save space whilst we just deal these out like so. And then when we've done the four in the middle, we just go around in a circle there. I suppose you could say north, north, east, east, and then south, east, south, south, and so on. A bit tight, but don't worry about that, because the next stage we have to bear in mind we don't. There are four cards we're not to reveal, and that's the north, south, east, and west cards here. We can leave them in, but of course for space, we're just a bit stuck for space at the moment, aren't we? So what we do here, just to save us, if you want to look at those cards, don't. You do it out, nobody knows exactly why, but we do it out of respect for Spirit. We do it out of respect for Boo. So to prevent seeing those cards, we remove them. We remove those cards there, and then we place them underneath the deck like so. And I'll just pop the deck I think we'll just park it there, and then we know what's going on here. And now this is where we can just pull out these cards a bit here, the ones in the middle that were just a bit, I suppose they're a bit stuck for space, but we're in the clear now, as you would say. So just make sure everything's all neatened up, ship shape and Bristol fashion, ready to go, as you would say. And then we deal the cards in the order that they were dealt. We flip them in the order that they were dealt in. In this particular case, this, and then these here. In a way, they still are a bit of compass, like the north, south, east, and west, and then of course so forth with the other directions, which can be classed as that. I want to pull out the first card, and what we do out we go with how we feel and how things progress. We just have to try and take it, I suppose, calmly, but nevertheless we try and remain focused on what we're doing here. We just take the first card, and then we're going to flip the card nice and slowly, not to reveal it too quickly, not to disturb its energy. Just flip the card nice and slowly there to reveal the first energy. And that energy is camera, and it's the colour green and the letter P. So I'll just show you that there. Camera and the letter P, and the colour green. Notice the letter P. That would be probably, if you write that down, then that can be part of the, maybe the hidden message that's coming up later. So that'll be all part of like an anagram. I suppose it's a bit like an anagram game, but in this case it's not a game, is it? There could be a hidden message for you there, Cassie. So straight away we've got camera and we're sort of I'm sort of locking onto this. Yes, why I'm locking onto the colour green, I don't know. Is that the green of the heart chakra? As if there's a photograph somewhere on a camera, or a camera that was used in some way, shape or form, that has an important picture that means a lot to your heart there, still on it. I mean, these days, I suppose it could be his camera phone, couldn't it? In the sense, it could be his phone could still have a photograph still on there if nothing's been deleted or whatever. But I'm sort of getting this. I'm focusing on the lens. Why am I looking at the lens? As if there's something about that lens that may. As if it's seen many things, that camera has seen something or somebody. I don't know. I'm going to just leave that for now, and we'll just, I suppose, just concentrate on the next card to see if there's a link. But that camera, has really been part of the central sort of layout there. I got it's part of the main. A main part or a main character in the storyline, if you view it that way. I want to just flip this next card to see what we've got here, because this may also give a clue into death. The colour yellow and the letter E. Got some colours coming out, haven't we? The colour yellow and the letter E. Why am I sort of thinking here? I'm not saying that he was hard of hearing or anything like that, but there was somebody who didn't hear something. In the sense that something should have been heard, something was said and somebody didn't hear it. I'm thinking of it in the symbolic sort of sense, as if a warning was given in some way, shape or form, and there may be pictures on a camera to prove it, or the camera may hold the key to it, but a warning was given and somebody didn't hear it. Maybe whoever was, maybe the mother was told but didn't hear. Maybe it's your mother who was hard of hearing, or was it Boo who was hard of hearing? I don't know. Why I'm sort of thinking as though your mother may have been told but didn't want to know, but I got a sort of sense as though she does know. She didn't want an autopsy, but I got a sort of sense that your mum there does know deep down, and didn't want to hear it. It was deaf, sort of more by choice than the design there. A lot of people choose to switch off, don't they, sometimes, and I'm sort of getting that. I want to go to the next card to see what surrounds this here. I want to flip. Remember, we flip nice and slowly here, and what's this about? The love. We've got love there, and a footprint, and and on the letter T. I always think of the footprint poems on a sea of footprints anywhere, really. I don't know if you do that, where you see one set of footprints, but it's not your own, it's somebody else carrying you. It's supposed to be your imaginary friend or whoever it is carrying you there. And I'm sort of getting that here, as if whatever wasn't heard was done through love and in some means to try and protect you from what it was. Excuse me. I had to. Hope I'm not getting down with something. You said there was something wrong with your health there, Cassie, and it appears as though Boo is sort of pointing out there maybe. I don't know if hearing loss is part of a symptom or whatever, but I got a funny feeling as though your mother hasn't told you because to try and protect you, which can be counterproductive as well as with good intent. It can actually be counterproductive, can't it? If of course you suspect that the health issue that you have is the thing that killed your brother, which can't help. It may or may not be, but it doesn't help knowing that. Notice those three, of course: camera, love, and hard of hearing. The deaf card are sort of linked, aren't they? I'm wondering what would surround these cards, the other cards. We can pull out the next one here just to see and to try and get some sort of picture. It starts painting a picture, doesn't it? And then we can start trying to find links and connections as we just flip this card here. Nice and slowly there to reveal the energy of astral. I suppose a bit like astral projection, isn't it? And you've got the three, the symbol of the goddess there, and the number 5, and astral. You said you were having your experience in dreams. You were dreaming of your brother, or you've been doing dreaming just recently. I wonder if they are dreams. I wonder if they are actual astral projections in some way, shape or form. And you are projecting and travelling somewhere in some sort of transcendence. Maybe. It's just a thought that that I thought may either be of or not of interest. But I'm sort of sensing as though it's your brother travelling astrally, travelling to you in some regard through love, but it's trying to draw your attention to a camera. In the sense of the answer is to do with that camera or camera phone or whatever it is. I don't quite know, but it's to do with that camera. The answer will be on there. As for the cause of his death, of course, I'm still sort of sensing here as though he's sort of saying your mother may be hard of hearing. I don't know, but something to the hard of hearing, deaf. Somebody isn't listening, but knows and doesn't want to say. If, of course, I'm going to run on the if, of course thing here. If you're hard of hearing there, Cassie, and your mother is using your your disability is in some way, in order to talk quietly so you don't hear. But I don't know, I'm sort of coming round to this thing as though your mother was told but didn't hear, or chose not to, or blanked it out. But I do sense that your mother does know. And maybe that's the question really, I suppose, to some degree, is why did Mum not want an autopsy? And it's because of what's on that camera. That camera holds the key to it. Maybe the colour green, the colour yellow is somebody's favourite colour. A room that's painted, well, not painted yellow or green, but certainly maybe an object or a green camera. I don't know. What's the letter E got to do? I'm sensing the letter E and the number 5 has something to do with it. I don't know why I'm getting that, but from astrally projecting there at the centre of this, your brother's love is there to say that you dream of me because I am coming to you astrally. I project to you on the astral plane, and we are connected on the astral plane. Our astral doubles can join together quite freely. When you fall asleep, your body, or your astral body, leaves its physical and can ascend and even transcend to the other dimension. It's when it doesn't come back when you got the problem. And a lot of people do have problems when they do astral projection through meditation and shamanism, etc., whatever. They do actually have trouble getting back into the body, and you can actually feel unwell. It happened to me on the odd occasion some years ago when I used to try and astrally project with varying levels of not success, but certainly varying levels of. And I want to move on to the next card to see. Yes, this was the next card. Although it's this one here, we removed that one, didn't we? Just like this one, and this one. So we're left with, well, after these 4, aren't we? And I want to just go and see what we've got here. We'll flip the card nice and slowly, not to reveal its energy too quickly. Just out of respect for spirit there, and we'll just see what that energy is there. The energy of father. It's the card father. The Ankhs, the Egyptian Ankhs, and the number 1. That's an interesting thing. The father. Is he saying he's with his father, or he wants this message to go to his father, or he wants to tell you? I'm sensing as though your father is in spirit, but I could, of course, if I'm wrong, you can either right or you're wrong. But I'm sort of sensing there's something to do with father there, and number 1. The Ankhs often is related to luck, isn't it? Good luck or whatever. I don't know if in this particular case it's lucky, but certainly father and astrally projecting. I got a sort of sense as though the camera and father astrally projecting there. Well, I'm sort of thinking a photograph of the father as something for a photograph with the father with the father in it has had something to do with this. Of course, we're still wondering what I suppose the cause of death is, or as we never found out. I want to move to the next card to see if any clues are given here. But father is important, as if he's either wanting a message to his father, or he's saying he's with his father or something. Or was he with his father when he passed? I don't know. I'll leave that one open just for a moment whilst we just turn this card here. And this is, well, lost. Lost and an arrow, the letter G. So we've flipped that card now, and I'll just show you that. And notice that's got like a compass type thing on it, hasn't it? The letter G. Of course, as we said, all these colours, letters and symbols might also... Now notice the arrow there. And as we place the card down, the arrow is pointing that way, isn't it? Of course. As if it's pointing toward astral and toward father as well, toward that sort of direction. It's pointing north. As I'm reading it here, it's northeast, isn't it? There's something that lost northeast of where you are, maybe. Or it could be northeast from here where I'm doing the reading. But the arrow is pointing actually sort of south, sort of south-southeast, south-southwest. It's pointing here from where I'm sitting, but as if we call that north, then of course yes, it's north. Something is lost. Now this, I suppose, with well, what the cause of the death is, something is lost. Is it something that's lost, or something that somebody hopes gets lost, so that they don't have to make an account or give an account for it? Certainly the astral projection has something to do with it in some regard or other. But the arrow is pointing. It's pointing at a northeast. I'm sort of getting a northeasterly direction. Although the card itself is in the south, is in the southwest of the spread. It's pointing, an arrow is pointing, something is lost northeasterly. I don't know if there's somewhere that's of some import, of some importance to you there. I honestly don't know. But whatever wasn't heard was certainly caught on camera, and through love he astrally projects to you, and that's why I got a sort of sense there that's why you dream, you have dreams regularly. It's because he's astrally projecting and he's connecting to your astral double. It's a bit like you're both astrally projecting, or you're astrally projecting and you're meeting up on the other side together. And then of course you return back to your physical when you wake. I want to move to the next card here to see what other things here. This is an interesting development here. Third eye. Yeah, the third eye. That's of course the eye of Horus, the eye of Horus, and the number 3. 3 of course is a magic number in the sense that 3 by 3 is 9, and you can't go any higher than 9. That's the reason why 9 is the highest number you can go to, and why it's revered. But third eye, which is the eye in the middle of the forehead, isn't it? That sort of the sort of eye that you visualise and you can see, and in that sense, I just want to place that there. The as if you're using instead of what you can't hear, you're compensating with the third eye, and it's the third eye that sees the astral plane, of course, and what's on the astral plane. But also with the love card, I'm focusing on the text. I don't know if you can see that there's text on that card there. Why I'm sort of focusing on that, I don't know. Like as if there's something written somewhere, either in a book or in somebody's journal or what, I don't know. As if he's saying I wrote it down. I don't know about a love letter to you, but certainly an expression of love may hold the key to it. But that camera, I'm still looking onto that camera and what may be on there. I can't assume that it's film, but certainly if it's a digital photograph that's still on the camera, so go try and find maybe his phone or his camera if there was one or whatever. But there's something to do with that, and it's connected to the letter P there, by the looks of it. The numbers 5 and 3, I mean, I don't know if it's 35, 53, I don't know. 35 comes to mind. Why that is because it's the numbers, or 5, 6, 7, 8, is it the number 8 in the sense you add them up. I want to pull another. I want to not just pull another card here, and the number 1, of course. 135, 153. I don't know. It's the door number. We'll leave you to work that out. But we still don't. In a way, we're none the wiser, are we? I just want to flip this card over here. Olfactory, in the sense of. It sounds as if he gives you a clue there through the sense of smell. As if the colour red, so red, green and yellow, and another number 5. I don't know if he's reiterating or repeating the number 5 to you, or if we had it on, I honestly don't know. But certainly I'm sort of getting this sense of something's on that camera. There's some photograph somewhere. But if other than that, I'm sort of like linking to this. There's maybe you smell. You know, like sometimes when the old man dies and you can smell his pipe in the corridor or something like that, or in the sitting room, even long after he's gone, and then you say he's knocking around because I can suddenly smell his pipe again. And that sort of thing. I'm getting that sort of thing, as though you do sense his presence more through smell. Although somebody is deaf, I don't know who's deaf. I don't know if he was hard of hearing, if Boo was hard of hearing, but your mother. I'm sort of locking onto the fact that maybe it's your mother who's hard of hearing and can't hear. And that's probably why she didn't want to know, because if she was told, she wouldn't hear it. Is it that she wouldn't hear it, or is it that she wouldn't want? She'd choose not to hear it? As for the reason for his passing, something is lost. Is it the reason that's lost? The smell is parallel to that, but of course the smell is linked to love and camera as well. I'm sort of sensing as though whatever it is, the smell that's left behind is a clue to it. Could be his medicine. It could be absolutely anything. But you'll know. And something he's saying, you'll know. As regards to what's lost, of course, north, east, Is there somewhere northeast that you've been and left the camera there and it's lost there? What's that about the father on the camera and astrally travelling? I'm sort of sensing as though he's as if he's saying he's with his father or something. I don't know. He's safe in his father's hands. I don't know if that's his father as in his birth father, or as if he's sort of referring to his creator or something. I'm sort of thinking that his father's in spirit as well and he's with his father. But as for the cause, I have a funny feeling that you know. When you were mentioning about your own health issue, maybe that's a key to it. But there's something to do with a photograph or something on a camera here, or something that I do sense. When you get a smell, you'll relate it to the smell of either somebody in the photograph or something in the photograph, or whatever, I don't know. But he comes with love and he astrally projects with love. It means you no harm and you see him through the third eye, because he is the mind that sees, isn't he? But you don't hear anything. Something or somebody is lost. The cause of his death, yes, may be lost to you, but I still somehow feel somebody does know. And I sense it's you that knows as well. Although you've suspected, and of course suspicion isn't knowledge, is it? It's an educated guess at the best. Really. I want to just shuffle the mediumship cards here to see what message is available. I suppose from just a basic sentence type. I just want a spirit of Bua. I just wonder if you've got a message that you just want to give to Cassie that may help further with this. It's a bit of a hard one for me, I'm afraid. I wonder if you can. Blessed be to Boo and all absent friends there continually. I want to just place them here. I'll just go through roughly here. He's just saying that we've been together in dreams. I think that's quite obvious through what we've discovered with the astral projection there. That seems quite obvious. Thanks for just clarifying that, though. We'll just flip 3 cards here. I suppose beginning and middle and end of message, isn't it? We've been together in dreams, and there's no such thing as death, and that's why I can do it. That's why I can astrally project. That's why I can visit you in this way, and that's what's special. That's the connection that we've got, and here, of course, I'm just a thought away, merely thinking about me with using your third eye. Remember. Using your third eye, you can make that connection, and you can join me. And I'm getting the sense as though he will tell you in a dream. And I have a funny feeling he's already done it. But then again, I'm just getting the sense he's saying, although he hasn't said anything. I want to just pull another card here just to sort of see. He's just saying it's not your fault, Cassie. I just want you to know that whatever happens, it's not your fault. If he's saying it's somebody else's fault, I don't know. It maybe I don't know, but he's certainly saying it's not your fault. As if he's saying it's not your fault, Cassie.
It's 1 o'clock
in the morning. Not so much it's not your fault, don't blame yourself, but it's not your fault, Cassie. He is as if he is pointing at blame, but it's I'll point you in the right direction to find out whose fault it is. That's what I'm getting from that. I'll come to you, astrally project to you, and I think you already know with the camera and the smell there, and maybe the smell of that person lingers somewhere. That person who's in that photograph, and although they can't be heard, that could be referring to his lack of hearing or hearing loss, or it could be your mother's hearing loss, but I do sense your mother does know. I do sense your mother does know. I don't know why, I just do, and is trying to protect you through love. I'm not telling you. I want to just gather these mediumship cards together here, and then when we've just made a complete mess and hash of everything else that's laid out here, we're going to try and just deal out the other cards in some sort of less chaos, and we'll just place these mediumship cards just under that deck there, and I'll just pop them just over here just for a moment. If I just place the lid on the box properly, I can just rest them on top of the box, can't I? And then after what we're going to do is I'm going to gather up these. A card just fell off top of there. I don't know if it's me precariously putting things down, but a card fell off the top, and I'm going to reveal that card. It's a jumper, as you call it sometimes when you're shuffling it, but it fell off. It could have just been leaning off like the other one is. I don't know. No, it doesn't. I'm going to reveal what that card is, just to see if it does mean anything to you. Just saying I feel healthy and happy. Yes, enough to do spiritual gymnastics with the cards there. Okay, I feel healthy and happy, as if he's not ill anymore. I want you to know that. That's a comforting thought, isn't it? I want to gather these cards up though here, in the order that they were dealt, and then we're just going to deal. Finally, we're going to deal them in the order, I suppose, that they were dealt, but we're going to deal them in a row so that you can see the so that you can see the letters and numbers. So this is a time now where you get your pen and paper and you start writing things down. So we've got the letter P there, the letter P. I think these have got a bit mixed up, but we'll just deal them out anyway there. The letter P, the letter T, that came with the love, didn't it, there? The letter P, the letter T, the number 5, the number 5 there, and then the letter E, PT5E, and then the other 4 are the number 1. That was with the father, wasn't it? The number 1. And the letter G for golf. And then the final 2 cards there, the number 3. And finally there, oh, another number 3. So there you go. You can I'll leave that with you to try and maybe if there's a hidden message there or something that is a significance, maybe, I don't know. I'll leave that with you to try and work out. And for now, I just want to say to Boo there, I want to thank you for your presence. I want to thank you for your time and for your energy and for the love that you brought. And we'll leave that love with Cassie now and family, and we say love is the law, love is the bond. Merry did we meet, merry do we part, and merry may we meet again. Blessed be to Boo and all absent friends.